I think we should just break the rules, Will.
Whew, okay.
What are the rules? What rules are we talking about here? This is exciting.
Jerry, what are the rules?
Well, the rule is that, the guests don't come on until the end of the first segment, but I think we should make an exception
We broke
because...
that rules last time because we were late. We had like a 40-minute race through the best movie of the trilogy. So, I think all the rules have been broken on this trilogy.
Ricky, you sound upset.
Rules.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I want another 15 minutes to gush over that pure piece of joy.
Take it now. Take it now.
No. Let's get on with this one.
Okay, for those of you who have just joined us, this is our third day in a row doing the Star Wars extravaganza featuring people with funny accents. We are thrilled that you've been here through all three of the episodes. If you stayed with us for this long, you must be an employee of Post Ritati or a doctor with the last name Galen. We could not thank you enough. And, guys, I do feel a little, I guess, guilty. I guess we'll get to how we all felt, but I wanted to end on a good note. I wanted.
Oh no! Here it comes.
It's the holiday season.
Oh.
Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Dan. Happy Christmas, Ricky. All that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I mean, it's pretty bad. The Return of the Jedi is a pretty bad movie. Again, I don't want to rely too much here on some on external text, but page 150 of Sex, Drugs, and Cocoa Puffs, as referenced by the last podcast, calls Return of the Jedi a quite possibly the least watchable major film of the last 25 years. I don't know. I mean, we can get into why.
That's an exaggeration.
Yeah, that's strong. There's lots of good things to be said,
and lots of worse major films in the last 25 years. I have my own theories, but Ricky, I bet you're chomping at the bit.
No. I agree it's the worst one, but I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ricky. Like, okay, worst one, but still fucking awesome.
No, okay. Here's my theory. I came up with it today. I think it's I'm going to call it the Jar Jar Binks corollary. Okay, and I think it actually derives from what I first said to you, Dan, in that those many weeks ago in that popcorn line at the Landmark on Pico to watch Foxcatcher.
Is that when you guys met? By the way, you have to clear something up for me.
No. Dan and I
know each other. But
Dan and I were introduced.
We met on J-Date.
We met on J-Date. Oh man, yeah. What are you guys gonna do for Hanukkah? Happy Hanukkah, by the way, to everyone. What are you gonna do? Dan, what are y'all doing? Wait, Dan,
Latkes.
It is Hanukkah for you right now.
Yeah, right.
How's it going?
There are Jews in Australia.
There are Jews in Australia. I'm not one of them, but
Will seems to think you are one of the
I do
chosen
seem to
people.
think you are.
Liar.
It's okay.
I get that all the time. It's amazing. Like, I get, you're Jewish, you're Greek. My girlfriend is very blonde and very Australian, and we were in a taxi the other day, and the taxi driver turns around and he goes, "This is what I like to see. Yes, good Arab boy with Aussie girl." And then started speaking Arabic to me. And had to disappoint him that I'm half Dutch, I'm half Austrian, and the milkman was from Lebanon. Hence the looks.
Ricky, how do you break down? I've never been quite sure on your.
I'm a Jew. I don't know why you forget that. You keep putting all these waspy, connotations on me.
Because
You got three names. You got
have three names. Two of them are Lloyd and George. And then when
Right.
I said that we had a doula for my birth, you asked if you were being a bad Jew by not knowing what.
I
that
know.
word
I'm
was.
not a very good Jew. That's what that showed.
I'm not
I am one of
either.
those rare things, which is a Welsh Jew. Which is a
I don't know why that's
small
funny, but
receding
it
number of
is.
people in both senses.
Wait, go on. You're gonna have to unpack that a little bit.
Yeah, we need more.
Yeah, come
Well,
on.
I'm Welsh on my dad's side, which is where Lloyd, George, the two first names that you like to keep repeating, come from. And then the Jewish side is my mum's side. But they're what I call Woody Allen Jews. They're atheistic Jews. They don't really... I get all the Woody Allen pantheons, but we celebrate Christmas because there's more presents in that holiday.
Fair enough.
It's not very,
Are you related to Lloyd George, the English Prime Minister Lloyd George?
I am indeed. That's where the Welsh side comes from.
Wow, there you
Fancy.
go.
What is it with the Welsh, Ricky? I mean, why is there a prince of is there a lot of oil there? Why is that a seat of power? What's the deal?
It's not really a seat of power. It was the easiest part of Great Britain to conquer, and that's why they can still call it Prince of Wales, and he has nothing to do with Wales. Scotland and Ireland are fighting for their own, freedom and independence, and there's movies about those countries, like Michael Collins and Braveheart. There's nothing about Wales apart from a shit Hugh Grant movie in the 90s. The Englishman who went up a hill and came
That
out.
movie's great. Do not
Love-
shit on
I
that
do
movie.
love that movie, actually. Hit shit was mean. That was a mean title.
Fellas, should we enough about this? Should we get into Return of the Jedi? Although I'm deeply interested. Do you guys want to hear about the Wikipedia?
Do
if
it.
anyone's
Set us up.
forgotten. Okay, here we go. Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi, also known as Star Wars Episode 6 Return of the Jedi, is a 1983 American epic, again, that space opera highlight, film directed by Richard Marquand. Now, Ricky, I'm going to pause here.
Yeah, another Welsh guy.
Yeah, go. Who is this fella?
This is someone who George Lucas could just tell what to do. As we were talking on the last time, he was not around for most of Empire. Potentially Wyatt's one of the best.
Him being Lucas.
Him being Lucas.
Yeah.
And because he was doing the money problems, he was raising money, he was dealing with, I think, Bank of America. I just watched them make that whole Empire of Dreams thing that
Oh,
I showed.
nice, dude.
He was just trying to get money and like start up his empire. Jedi,
So to speak.
he's back. His beard's graying. He's still, thinner than he was now, but he's just Marquand is his little puppet, basically. And I think this movie feels like it's like a closer version of what the prequels would be. He's got more control, more power, and he's basically directing it. And Marquand is just the AD.
Did you know in 1987 that Marquand died of a stroke at the age of 49?
I saw that. I was sad to see that. I mean,
His last film, Hearts of Fire, starring Bob Dylan, was released posthumously. Rest in peace, Richard Marquand.
What would you guys? I think I know you guys have differing opinions about the quality of this, but
Yeah.
I think we can all agree that this is the most sexualized of. This is where the princess is. I mean, she's exploited.
Oh my god!
What's going
I-
on there?
I
Why is that
think-
happening?
I think it's safe to say. I'm talking for you guys, but am I alone here saying that my first sexual thought was more than likely about Princess Leia?
You're not. You're
no,
not wrong.
God, no. She looked
Mine-
amazing.
yeah.
First, I don't know. I mean,
There's a reason that was that Simon Pegg movie, Paul, that he's surrounded by like a dozen Princess Leias at Comic-Con in San Diego, and it's just his dream come true. I think it's absolute fanboy fantasy.
When did you guys first see Last Tango in Paris? When was that? In your-
Where are you going with
Not
this?
when we were 8 years old, Will.
No.
I don't remember the butter in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, right.
The screenplay by Lawrence Kasdan and George Lucas is from a story by Lucas, who was also the executive producer. It is the third film released in the Star Wars franchise and the first to use THX technology. Now, Rick, I'll pause again. Ricky or Dan, but what is THX technology? Is it sound-based?
It's sound.
It
It's,
must
it,
be sound.
What
it
are
was
the
the
four
precursor of Dolby Digital sound.
THX is a high-fidelity audiovisual reproduction standard for blah, blah, blah. Yeah, anyway. George Lucas created THX. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but there, I will get to one particularly interesting segment. The last paragraph here. The film was released in theaters on May 25th, 1983, receiving mostly positive reviews. The film grossed over $475 million worldwide, several home videos, yada, yada, yada. But I just want to harp on this positive reviews element. Roger Ebert gave it 4 out of 4 stars.
completely discredits him. I mean, completely.
Who else? I think, Pauline Kael, I think, liked it, although don't quote me on that. James Kendrick of Q Network Film Desk described...
It's not a bad movie. You guys are like hammering it. It's not that bad.
I mean, here's the thing. Oh, go on, Ricky.
No, I was just gonna say it is a kids' movie. It follows the suit from the other two, but it finishes the trilogy in a fairly satisfying manner. That final epic battle scene is great. It
Okay.
works.
I do think the last half hour is on par with
It's
the rest
slow
of
to
them.
it's slow to get going, just like all the other ones. Except it's sort of just recycles content from before, right? There's nothing
That
new
I
with
agree
it.
with. We touched on this last week, where I believe Return of the Jedi is the Last Crusade of the trilogy, but whereas Last Crusade took Raiders, and this may be sacrilege, I think bettered it in some ways, although Raiders is a perfect movie, quote, Steven Spielberg, unquote. This just takes the end battle and ups the scale. Another Death Star, just like more Nazis.
Yeah,
Okay, but
how
the-
c-